they are doing this incredible.
Well, there's a myriad of things. I think first of all, we have to go back to the writer. You are very well known for your teaching skills. Your students speak a whole lot about you.
Miss Nigeria competition.
I said, let's pick them up, let's take them back to Nigeria, and let's teach them a different kind of job.
There is no force greater than the force of a woman who is determined to rise. That is so because when women stand, or when one woman stands, she stands for all women. That is a particular quote that I like from Maya Angelou. Now, I'm not saying that the men don't do the same, but I know that in this studio, we stand for ourselves, we stand for women, and we continuously showcase women who are touching lives through the little or great things they're doing in the society. Today, I have an exceptional woman who is seated with me. I took time to bring her in. She is a health practitioner, public health actually. We'll get to find out what all that is. But I know that she's doing great things when it comes to philanthropy, humanitarian services, and particularly, Nigerians in diaspora. She is the chapter president for Maryland for the NIDOA, that's the NIDO USA, and she's also the president of the entire group in the United States of America. I simply call her my sister, Patience Keys.
Thank you so much.
Nice to have you. How was your journey?
It was great.
And I'm sure you're enjoying Nigeria because it's not that cold now.
I am. I'm really enjoying Nigeria.
Now, you read geography.
Yes.
In Ambrose Ali University.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, geography and nursing, where's the connection?
Geography is versatile, and nursing is also versatile. You have in some aspects of geography where you talk about environmental health.
Yes. Really, in geography?
Yes.
I was thinking it's all about the Greenwich time and the hills and valleys and all that. It was one course I didn't like in the school.
We deal with the environment,
okay.
And also in nursing, health and environment is interwoven.
Yeah.
You cannot separate them. So it's actually a great match. I actually wanted to be a medical doctor. I wouldn't just pass physics. I don't know what happened. Then when I traveled to the United States and saw the opportunity, I said, okay, I think God really wants me to be in the health care. And it wasn't much of a trouble, finding myself. Going into the healthcare, and I did my bachelor's in nursing and public health practitioner masters and all that. So, and I still do environment because there's a business my mother started a long time ago. She's lit right now, waste management in Asaba. When she passed, I decided to continue.
We're going to talk about that, but there's something you said now that actually got me thinking. A lot of us, we have a dream. At a point we try to struggle to get that dream, come to fruition. We really can't have that happening. We just give up. But you didn't give up. You took advantage of the environment where you were in to still go back years after to what you wanted to be. What was that driving force for you?
Yeah, I think the thing is about wanting to be of help in any situation I'm in. Talking about leadership, I started my leadership thing in Ekpoma, and I was a vice president, and it was all about action and doing stuff. I wasn't the kind of public person who wants to speak, who wants people to know me, but okay, these students have not gotten orientation and we're supposed to be having an orientation. It didn't happen in my time. Why don't you do it for them? The geography lab, our desk, we don't have desks to sit down and all those good stuff. Why don't we put money together, the dues that are being paid, why don't we use it to implement those things, put those, remove those barriers, So, yeah, it's been a beautiful journey, touching lives, and it's difficult, but then it's doable,
Now, in your course of touching lives, I know it's not that easy. Human beings naturally want to cheat. What are those moments that you feel like, oh, I shouldn't have actually done this, but you have continued?
Yeah, when you're in a business and you have people representing you, of course, as a nurse, when you delegate, your eyes will always be there, because when anything goes wrong, it comes out back to you. So being an employer of labor, when you send staffs to the field and there's a problem with the patient says, oh, there's more problem in the house, or things are stolen, even if it's not your staff that steals it, it comes back to you. It comes back to the job, and also maybe your staff is not able to do a good job as in taking care of the patient, and there's a report. You're always careful so it doesn't go from just your relationship with your clients to it going to the board of nursing or to the bigger board. So all those things, what we do in our job is to train and also have time to invest in the lives of those that are working with us, train them, talk to them, advise them on how to go, and also evaluate and review,
all right,
whatever is being done.
You're the president of the Nigerians in Diaspora Organization of America.
Yeah.
Now, I'm wondering, as a woman, isn't it a challenge? Because, our male here are a little bit egocentric, and they want the men in charge. And you've been holding it for a while. Was it that easy, and is it still that easy?
Yeah, I will say how I actually started. It is not easy. It is not easy. I knew about NIDO in 2014 when President Jonathan came to the DC area, and a friend said, oh, there was going to be a rally on Bring Back Our Girls, and I said, okay. He said, patient, this is what you like to do, and all that. Okay, I went there, I told some friends, and we got there, met the group, the NIDO group, and I saw what they were doing. We had some talks with some aides that came with the president, and also the president came out to have chats with us. And later I wanted to know more about the organization, and I thought it was very interesting. I thought, yeah, it's good to give back to the society that actually made you. I tell people Nigeria made me, America did not make me. What I am today was started in Nigeria. My build up, my strength, my resiliency, it started from somewhere. Now, yeah, so now it's just, kind of, we grow every day. So I'm just growing from what I already have, So I got to Ohio, asked more questions, met some other chapter members in DC and Virginia, and learned that we have no chapter in Maryland. We've always had something in Baltimore, but a couple of months later it stopped. They couldn't hold ground, and they disintegrated. And I decided we need to do something in Maryland, and I said I was going to pick that up. I talked to the friend who actually invited me for the program, but along the line she wasn't interested any longer, and I decided we need to do this. Going to the embassy that same year, I met some old members and some of our chapter members in DC introduced me to one or two and all that, and I told them that same month, October, on the 18th, we're going to start meeting, and we took care of a place, and that was how Maryland started. Then talking about the leadership, after having coordinated one and all us for a month, or close to a year, we decided it was time to have an election. And we Nigerians, well read, you have the professors, you have the doctors, you have the engineer, and this little girl who is just in healthcare trying to help to coordinate. I said, okay, you know what, I am not going to sit here and see the good work, the hard work that I started, and bringing us together to just go into the hands of someone because I'm a professor, I made this, I made it. That's not going to work here. I am going to contest. And that was how it happened, and I won that election with 88% vote.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's 88% votes, and that's how I became the president of Maryland chapter. And to be the president of a chapter, you have automatic access to the national board. You represent your chapter in the national board, and that was how I went to the national board, and I contested for the public relation officer on the national board, and someone actually had to step down. A man actually had to step down for me to contest, because before then I told him, I said, do you think you can match this? And you know, we just went through some, you know, and he said, okay, I will step down for you, just tell people I'm going for the treasurer. And that was how I became the public relation officer on the national board, and he became the treasurer. We worked well together. Then during the time for election on the national board, I still could run for a position. And looking at what NIDO was all about, I thought, yes, I have some things I could bring in, more things I could bring in. I have some things I could introduce. There are so many things that we need to do as Nigerians to be able to move us forward. And I said I was going to run for the chairman. On the national level, the title is actually chairman. Okay. Then on the local, on the chapter levels, it's president. So I decided to run for the chairman. And how I did it, I didn't really know. I was actually strategizing to win. So I actually wrote to all the professors, doctors, engineers, the big boys, because most, like you said, most of them are men on the board. We have, I think it was just 4 women. Yes, well, I think we're just 4 ladies. The rest of them were men. And I sent a message to to so many of us saying, this is what I want to do, advice. So it looks like that's put so many of us down, as in, you know. And when it was time for the contest, everybody already know Patience was running for the chairman of the organization, and I happened to be the first chairman and the youngest one who has run for chairman in NIDO, the first female chairman and the youngest, you know, chairman. And so it was later I got to know that 1 or 2 persons were you know, interested, and being that I didn't see leadership as a do or die thing. Okay. You know, I believe if you have a goal and you think, you know, that you know how to go about it, we'll support you if you win. And if I do win, you know, the support will be for all of us.
Really, for not just NIDO, it should be that too for all, you know, political, social posts, if you ask me.
Yes.
Now, what has NIDO been able to do with regards to bringing back our diasporas from wherever they are to come invest in Nigeria, economically speaking?
Yeah, that's like, thank you for that question. That is exactly one of the big jobs for NIDO that NIDO has been, you know. We have programs. Like, why I'm here is because of the Diaspora Day. Diaspora Day is one of those times where you introduce it to Nigerians in wherever you are. For me, is in the United States. You know, come to deliberate with the government, come to deliberate with the leaders and the business, the enterprises, you know, to see how we can move forward. NIDO has been able to give opportunities to so many Nigerians. Even before I came, like I said, I knew about NIDO in 2014. NIDO has been able to give a lot of opportunities to Nigerians in diaspora coming home to come and invest in healthcare, own their own businesses, agriculture, school, education, you know, ICT, you know, technology, and a lot of it. But like we started to say, the thing is, we are doing it one by one, not as a collective, not as a union. I know that when during the period I got to know about NIDO, the aides that came with President Jonathan was like, you know, you should come as one. You know, when you're all divided, it's a big problem, and that is why we're happy about the NIDCOM, the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, which is an agency for the diaspora to be able to leverage. You know, it's a seat for us to sit down as diasporans who are making, no matter how small, you know, you're engaged in the diaspora. You know, you can bring back your expertise, you can bring back what you have to be able to build a system. So many Nigerians have done a lot in the system here from the diaspora.
But a lot of them too are, you know, seemingly unable to get that done. What is a hindrance? What deters them from actually coming back home? What are the challenges?
The security issue. The security issue, then the power issue. There are so many people who are in businesses, maybe manufacturing or things like that, and they're like, okay, this power, you know, is a big thing. If we can get it right, when it comes to electricity, Nigeria will move swiftly. Nigeria will. We go to where it needs to be. We really don't. We're not poor. it's very irritating to hear them call us an underdeveloped or developing country. Now we are seated as the capital, the poorest, the poverty capital of the world, which is a shame. Although there's a lot of things that are put together before you can say a country is this.
Yes.
Because if you have the natural resources, you have all the good stuff of life. You have even the human capital.
We have it a lot.
We have everything,
a whole lot.
but we're not managing it. We're not doing the things we need to do. So it's you will be merged, among the poor, and now even the poorest. So.
All right. You mentioned being able to manage what you do. I know earlier on you talked about the waste management system your mother started. How does that still work? I mean, you don't live here, so how do you manage that?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a challenge. When my mother passed, I decided to still be in it because I knew how we grew it. Because she was a civil servant, I had to leave school when she actually opened created that business for her younger brother. But you know how life is. We just want the money, we don't want to do the work. And because she already set it up, I said, Mommy, you've already set it up, you already registered the business and everything, the name, just change whatever you registered, change it to other names, since he's not interested to run it, but we'll see how we can run it. So I have to come from school to have meetings with commissioners or leaders or people she needs to. So when she passed, I said, okay, this is a business, this is my field also, this is something I want to let to. So I decided that her younger sister, before I came to bury my mom, she already started to do some work, and I said, okay, I think I need to merge somebody with you so it can, because she was a school teacher. She said she was okay with it, she'll be fine. So we continued. When it comes to financing and all that, we're all there, but the business was actually bringing money to take care of it.
Okay, all right, so let's talk less of patience and the key as the health worker, as the businesswoman, as the entrepreneur. Let's get to relax a little bit. I know you're married and I know you have a son. How do you run your home? I mean, you're there doing waste management, you're there doing NIDO, you're there doing your entrepreneurship, you're also there doing your nursing. How do you manage, to hold all this together and still hold family together?
I think it's all about prioritizing. It's all about your priority. It's all about your goal. Women were transformers. Women were go-getters. Women were multitask. I don't want to tell you when I slept last night and how I got up early this morning and all that. We are multitaskers. So many of us do that. In a situation where you have a family you have a good support system, it's not much of a problem. I didn't have a 50%, it's 80% or 70% support system, but the support was just from within. I believe for you to be able to attain a lot or attain what you want to attain in life, you have to be self-motivating. So that self-motivation was just there. I didn't create it myself. I just saw it. I just have that yearning that something could be done. Being able to manage my family full-time work, full-time nursing program, having 2 kids who had asthmatic symptoms. At times you have to run to the hospital. You're going from emergency room to do your exams, but is that resilient? Is that inner strength that I just see was propelling me, So it's that you have to be self-motivated. You have to know what you want, and
apart from the inner resilience and being a self-starter, what inspires you? What inspires you? What propels you in life generally? Your philosophy?
If you don't do it, it doesn't get done. If I'm waiting for you to, to come in before I'm able to show who I am, then I will just sit in a vacuum. You don't do it, it doesn't get done.
That's a good one.
It's not good to it's not enough to be waiting for someone to do it. If you think you have an idea, like I tell people in most of our meetings, don't think that your idea is vague or the idea will not be accepted. You might think it's stupid. Just say it. There will be somebody in the midst of us that will fine-tune your idea and put it together. And it has happened several times. You know, we come to Nigeria to empower ourselves, to grow one another. And as we're growing one another, we're growing the nation. Why? Because we are the nation. Nigeria is not a tree, it's not a house, it's not an inanimate object. Nigeria is the people. You know, so if you don't get it done, it will not be done.
That's a good one. Now, when you're not working, doing all that, how do you unwind? What forms relaxation for you?
I know, right? I think my daughter, my 8 years old, will be able to tell you that my mommy don't go out.
Okay.
Most of the things you do at home. But when I do walk, I walk around my vicinity. I live in a fairly good vicinity. I walk around my vicinity. Sometimes I sit down with friends, and not all the time. Sit down with friends, and I think coming to Nigeria this time around is a very good time, because I've been having some good times, eating some fresh fruits and all that. So yesterday we went to the Jabik Park mall and sat down and just look around. Yeah, I'm not much of an outgoing person. Every year I plan vacation, and the money is wasted because there's always somebody needs to meet. There's always something to do. So when I look at, okay, if Naido is going through this and I'm not able to do it, and I go for vacation, who will do it? And but I think I need to mellow it down and also
take care of yourself.
Yes,
a little bit.
yeah.
Take care of yourself a little bit, because self-love is not a crime. I always tell people, when you love yourself, you know, you're able to love other people around you, because when you love, you actually give. You give to yourself a whole lot of
Giving,
things.
I do.
And then in loving yourself, you give to yourself. And then in loving others, which comes from loving yourself too, you also give. So I always say, try to be a self-love person. That way it extends to the outside world. Just before I leave you, I'd like to know, a lot of women face challenges in life, and even before it takes the next step, they've collapsed. They are looking up there and wanting to, get up, or they don't even know they have to get up. What advice do you have for such people?
Yeah, empowerment comes from within. So many of we women, we believe somebody has to give us a chance to do something. According to the book of life, it says, honor your own husband. Love your own husband. The only thing we owe man, woman, boy, girl, whoever outside is love and respect. There's something inside of you that wants to grow. Let it grow. Don't be intimidated because of the face of a man, or the face of another woman, or the face of someone is this and I've not attained this goal, or I cannot stand that ground. There's always a place called forward. What you're not able to achieve today, you'll be able to achieve tomorrow, still depending on how you play your card. So for women, we should be strong, we should be bold, we should not wait for someone to tell us, pick that ball before I pick the ball. Try to do something. Try to do something. Go get it, fail, then do it again. When one strategy fails, think of something else that can propel you, that can help you to go forward. We should not be intimidated. Because I see that most of women, we just grab that intimidation, because
we welcome it.
Yeah, we welcome it. Oh, it's a men's world. No, it's a human world. Even the word of God said He made them man and woman. So we are all here to fly. The sky is just too wide for everyone. You see the birds in the sky. None of them, gets at one another.
Yeah. And when they're flying, we don't know the agenda anyway.
You see, exactly. So that is how it is with women. Don't be intimidated. Don't feel because this is the man. The only thing you owe people is love and respect. But you can do whatever you decide to do. You can actually get to whatever goal you set for yourself. Yes. Everything is possible.
Everything is definitely possible, and it was possible for you to come in after I've been talking like how many years now?
I know.
And
Thank you very much.
The studio. It's my pleasure, really, Patience. And when you go back, you go in peace, and continue to do the good work for NIDO, USA. We're glad, and particularly glad you're a woman and you're repping us real good. Thank you.
Thank you. So
all right, she said it all. If you must be done, then you must get it done. That should be your motivation. That should be your philosophy of life. Don't sit down and wait. Remember, a woman has the power of extra two letters. That's the W and the O. I'm not saying the men should be put down, but it wasn't me that coined that word. The men are right behind. So that means we remain on top. We remain in front of the men. And that's the only way we can actually help them to do what they're supposed to do. Because the Book of Life again says that he created a woman to help the man, because God realizes that the men have their weaknesses and we're there to help them, overcome those weaknesses. Next week we'll bring you another exciting moment on this studio. The program is The Woman, and my name is Elizabeth Abba. Bye for now.